And welcome to my How to Work Way Less and Live Your Best Life. Thank you for spending your time with me because I'm so excited to share with you what I have learned and applied in my life, as well as brought to my clients' life as well. So I am the founder of Lydia Nah Coaching, and I have an 8-year financial service experience. Sales, being self-employed is totally in my blood. Okay, and right now I'm coaching ambitious CEO moms to learn how to create my freedom money in her time-saving business. So you see, that's both, right? Money and time saving. And that is a beautiful way all to just live your life in the most easy, effortless, and enjoyable manner. Okay, so a little bit about me is okay, I have been in self-employed lifestyle since I was 24. I have 8 years of financial advisor experience, and in Q3 2021, which was also with COVID, I decided to come up with another income stream. I have about 7 clients to date, and I have made about 40K Sing dollars. The highest being 12K for 6 months. So means one client paid me for 6 months coaching, and she was willing to pay $12,000. In my opinion, that's good money. Okay, you have lots of family and downtime for yourself, because I came from a background where I was tired of active hustling. In my 8 years of financial service experience, also with the industry, a lot of very competitive sales, meeting clients every single day and meeting targets and meeting sales quota was something that we were trained in. Okay, but after I became a mom, I realized that no, that's not the life that I want to live. I want to be there for my kid, but yet at the same time, I want to have money, and I also want to have lifestyle and downtime. How is that possible? So this brings me to be the leading vision of being a CEO mom who has it all: time, money, business, family, and kids. Okay, you will see that I feature a lot of photos from my Perth trip, which I had at such an amazing time in just 2 weeks ago. This is me and my son, who I absolutely love to bits. Yes, and I fully believe that you can have a life of easy, effortless, and enjoyable. Even for the mothers that I coach in my coaching program, I always tell them that you don't have to take things the hard way. There will always be an easy, effortless, and enjoyable way, because that is what life is going to be all about. In fact, later on, you will understand why the more negative we feel, the more resistance there is, the harder it is for us to do things, or the more effort we have to put in. Okay, this is really because moms want to have it all. If it's not easy, if it's not effortless and not enjoyable, we don't do them. Okay. So, because when you are at your best, your family will be at their best versions as well. Yourself, your husband, my son as well. In fact, my energy brings up a lot when I teach my son. You actually cut down your detours, your mistakes, your roundabouts by a lot. Okay, saving time and energy, because the truth is that energy can never be created and destroyed. It is only transferred. Okay, so when you clean up your life, the way how you deal with productivity internally and externally, you give your life so much more room to create the next big miracle. Basically, there's actually 2 sides of life, right? There will be a survival way of life, and there will be a creation way of life. Okay, and I'll first talk about the survival, because these two are mutually exclusive. If there's survival, creation cannot exist. If there's creation, survival will not exist. Okay, they cannot survive, they cannot be present at the same time. So what is survival mindset? It basically is this mindset that we have to protect ourselves from danger. It signals out all the fears, right? And tries ultimate best to save you. For example, you say that, hey, I want to start a new project. Your fear will be like, oh, no, you failed in the past. You can't do that. Hey, you lost money before. You can't do that. What if other people don't want? What if you... And then you create all sorts of images in your head to actually stop you. Why? Because the survival mindset main goal is to persuade you to never step out of your comfort zone. That's its main goal. Okay, because in our DNA, anybody who stands out, be different, is threatened, or will be killed or in danger. On the other hand, when you have the creation mind, it is a mindset where you no longer just want to survive. You want to thrive. This is what we call abundant living. Okay, if you read my post, I talk a lot about abundant mindset. It's because we get to be the creator, to own our lives and have everything that we ever desire. So at the end of the day, what we want to be is to lead that best life in our communities, and we want to bring people to it. When you are for creation mindset, you are abundant mindset. It is basically a mindset shift. I have been on survival mindset before, and I have trained myself to this level where I'm in the creation zone. And I feel that when you shift your perspective, so many things in your life can change. Okay. At the end of the day, the eye is only sees what the mind is prepared to comprehend. Okay, in our brain, 95% of the mind is subconscious, is automatic. Only 5% is conscious. So in that case, there is so much beliefs, thoughts, and feelings that's hidden beneath, which often comes to play out whenever we want to do something new or we want to do something exciting. So my question to, the audience out here, if you're watching on replay as well, right? It's a thing for yourself. If I can have abundance in any way, anywhere, anytime I want, right? What would it be? And abundance can come in all shapes and sizes. It can come with family. It can come with the desire to be loved. It can come with a fulfilling career. It also can come with higher income or to provide for your family, or even when you feel lonely, right? And you feel that, hey, actually, and there is really there's nothing wrong with, there's nothing ashamed about it when you say that, hey, I have a big heart to love and I desire to be loved. Why not, right? So if I can have abundance in any way, anywhere, and anytime I want, I will, And I would love for you to think about and reflect upon yourself, right? What would abundance mean to you? Because the moment that you recognize to yourself what is abundance, that's when everything will change. A lot of people tell themselves, I can't have this and I can't have that. And in the end, truly, they create in reality, they cannot have that. So the difference between survival mindset and creation mindset is your energy field. So those who are in survival, you'll realize that fears, doubts, even people's triggers can easily penetrate to you. Why? It's because your energy field is very weak. It's very thin. On the other hand, when you have yourself a very thick layer of very big protection, when you go into a room full of sick people, or when you go into be in that capacity to help other people. And I can say for myself as a coach, I have gathered my energy to this point where it's very strong. Because why? Every time I do coaching, people are telling me their problems. They're telling me their family problems, their husband problems, their kids problems. They're also problems with their own life, right? And when my energy field is not strong enough, I won't be able to help them. So on the other hand, when you have when your energy field be very weak, and that's when fears, doubts, resistance, negative emotions come in very easily, and that's when you feel life is very difficult. It's very in some way it can be very unfulfilling, and every day in, day out, they're just doing the same thing. So in this world, right, especially for those who have science background, in every matter there is electromagnetic field. Okay, everything is all guided by magnetic. In Chinese, we call it 磁场. So there is two kinds of energy. One is external energy, and the other is inner energy. External energy refers to distractions, procrastinations, being busy with other people's tasks all the time, thinking that when you're busy, you are doing something right. Okay, but get it that the more energy that is being stretched across many things is called diluted energy. Your inner energy is what we call positive versus negative emotions, right? Later on, I'll share with you. And limiting thoughts. What are limiting thoughts? Limiting thoughts are like, oh, I cannot do this because I have failed in the past and I will feel it again. Or like, I don't think I'm up to it. I'm not good enough. I don't know enough. All these things are limiting thoughts. So therefore, when we keep ourselves busy, when we have, oh, hi, Cecilia. Okay, therefore, when we keep ourselves busy, or tasks that don't matter, and we do overthinking, the more you are expending out energy, okay? And the less you have internally within yourself for the creative power. So let me just talk about, so this is just a diagram about before and after. As what I mentioned, the more busy we are and the more distracted we are, the more we have to do so many things on our list, we belong to this section. And that's when a lot of things can come in very easily to take us away from the things that we want to do. However, when we are very focused on clearing up our external energy, which later on I'll talk about, and having very strong inner energy, you realize that your boundary is very strong. The things that people say don't trigger you.
Lauren, cannot take scissors, please.
Yes.
Lauren, can we do tomorrow? Tomorrow is weekend.
Yeah. Okay, you feel like you're in a way like you feel you're a superwoman. The things that people say don't trigger you really, and you know, fears don't come in, doubts also don't come in, and that's when you become very strong and very focused in everything you do, and that's when results come. Okay. So external energy. External energy basically is all about this from this book called The One Thing. A very fundamental book that I always share with my clients before they onboard with me. I have a background as a time and productivity coach, which when I started in September. So what I did was that I had clients who were very scattered, who were very busy, who were very unstructured. They came to me telling me that, hey, I feel so distracted. I'm not achieving anything. I feel so exhausted, but I don't know what I did, you know, because that was what I used to feel. That was what I used to feel when I felt very burnt out, taking care of my son, as well as working all day, all night, and I felt very burnt out. In the end, I wasn't productive at all. So in this book called The One Thing, I only just pick up the key takeaways because I have another focus, which is the internal energy. But external energy is that when you get so distracted and you procrastinate and you have a lot of fears and you will get pulled by other people's tasks, not your task. The truth is that there can only be one most important thing. Many things may be important, but only one can be the most important. So the difference, 3 key takeaways, multitasking and distraction being number 1, is that you can see a difference when there is an interrupted workflow and focused workflow. For interrupted workflow, it means that, you know, some people, they like to open many tabs when they're doing their work. Okay, they think that they're being very productive, but actually that is counterproductive. That drags down the energy. Doing such as, for example, when you do a primary work, you get started on it, and then you switch, you're oriented to another program, you get distracted and you switch your mind. And then in the end, the start to end, you take 2 to 3 times longer than what you did if you were to do it focused. This is why the book talks a lot about time blocking, which is what I put in very essentially in my first month with anybody who works with me, is to clean up their external energy. I get them to be very productive. I get them to have a strong focus on themselves, because when you are strong focus on yourself, you will immediately know what is the things that you should do and the things that you don't have to do. Okay, so another thing, second takeaway is to 80-20 rule. 20% of the effort creates 80% of the result. You see that we are not going for 100%, because if you go for 100%, you are asking for frustration. Okay, the truth is that there's 20% effort for 80% result. Likewise, 80% effort only contributes to 20% of the result. So in anybody's job or daily task, you got to find out for yourself what is that 20% task that contributes to 80% of the results. Okay, for example, in a sales role, many people can get so busy with doing admin, with being busy with other people, setting up events, when the truth is for them to do direct sales. Direct sales meaning having leads. Are you connecting with people? Are you contacting people? Are you making yourself, are you networking, right? Because only when you network, that's when you get a chance to pitch your product. Okay, are you getting pitching opportunities? Because when pitching opportunities, then comes in the chance for people to either say yes or no. But if you never even get focused on that and you get doing other things, that's when the results don't come. Okay, and the last one, the biggest myth that I really want to dispel is this thing called everything matters equally. This is completely false because 25 things on the to-do list, okay, that's why I never believe in to-do lists, because to-do lists always have other people's tasks in as well. What I would call is a success list. Success list is 5 things that actually are what you have to do today, and the number 1 thing, that needle moving task, that if you don't do, especially you got to do it in the morning, because when your mind is the clearest, okay, then that is when you actually mix up the productivity with the and you're not optimizing your efficiency as well. So with my coaching, with people who work with me in the first month, I also guide them on how to prioritize their tasks so that anything that comes up, they can actually use a maximum productivity level, energy level to do the task that matters most to get the biggest result. Okay, at the end of the day, every one of us, we have a core genius, because these are things that only you can do and it's irreplaceable. Okay, what is that core genius? Then it's a task that for you to find out, or when people find out after they work with me. Okay, on the other hand, so what happens when we are too tired, busy, exhausted, and stretched? Again, I go back to pointing out this diagram that on the external side, when we are too tired, busy, and exhausted, we go back feeling drained. We always say that I am so busy, but I don't know what I did. Or you go back feeling frustrated and telling your flaring up your tempers. And that's when our family don't deserve it, because our family always deserve the best version of ourselves. Remember the first few slides that I mentioned about it. On the other hand, when we are very focused, when our energy field is very strong, distractions don't come in easily. At the end of the day, after you're done with all your tasks, you still have time and energy to enjoy with your family, right? Isn't that the best gift that we can give to them? The best gift that we can give to our family is our presence. Yeah, so whenever you find yourself being exhausted, stressed, and say that I am so tired, but I don't know what I've been doing, then you got to look into yourself. It's likely that you're expending a lot of external energy for other people. Okay, and it comes in where you also never do the recharging internally from within. Okay, so what I want to share about the recharging internally from within is this concept about, let's think about as a tree. A lot of people like to look at the fruits, right? Where the apples, the oranges, the leaves, how beautiful and how big the tree looks like. However, in order for you to create and to build a big, strong tree, you got to have very strong beliefs. You got to have very supportive thoughts, and you got to have very supportive feelings. At the end of the day, belief, thoughts, feelings, when you do your action, breeds results. So if what I mean by supportive belief, let's say, for example, if in your lifetime you tell yourself that I want to have more money, but your belief system to yourself is a lot of money is only for the rich. Okay, if I want more money, I'm greedy. Or I don't need so much money because money is hard work. Or you tell yourself that if it comes in money, I have to sacrifice my family life, and that's not what I want to do. That was one of the beliefs that I had. Okay, and I completely went in a lot of healing and coaching in order to flip it completely. That right now I can be here to share with you that family can in fact be the motivating factor for us to change our lifestyle. Because when you actually have a very unsupportive belief to create the reality that you want, no matter what you do, no matter how many hours you put in a job, you will still be unhappy, unfulfilled, okay? And that's when you feel that you're not getting what you want, because there is a mismatch in what you want in reality and your belief, thoughts, as well as your feelings. So this is when I will talk about the internal energy. So internal energy, what it is about, is basically in two parts of our body, our minds and our hearts. Our heart is when a lot of emotional blockages can happen. Past trauma, failures, family upbringing, family lineage as well, breakdowns especially when we were younger. That's when the image of the part of of anything was shaped very strongly. Okay, because whenever we are born into this world from 0 to 7 years old, we are like a blank piece of paper. If anybody comes in and tell a kid that, hey, you're bad, the kid really thinks that they are bad. If they come in and say, hey, you're good, then they will really think themselves they're good. So past trauma, failures, and breakdowns really cause a lot of blockages in their body system. And the more negative the emotions, the bigger the resistance. That's when you take more time, you take more effort, and you have much lesser results. Okay, for the mind, you also have limiting beliefs, because the more limiting the belief, the smaller the creation power. What I mean by limiting belief is, for example, I have a lot of clients who actually come in coaching with me wanting to create a coaching business, but they say that selling is bad. If they say, if I sell, it means that I'm cheating people. Okay, if I make more money, it means I'm a bad person. Or they say that nobody will buy from me because this is a woo-woo product. Or they also tell themselves that, oh, if I set up my coaching business, I will have more time dedicated to it. So I will sacrifice my family with, and I don't want to do that. So limiting belief always feels very limited, right? It feels very capped. It always creates that barrier for us to create our next big thing. And it's often driven by a lot of fears, fear of uncertainty, fear of the unknown, fear of past failures, right? Past failures means that if I failed this in the past means that I will fail it again. And the people always bring that forward, okay? Or the limiting belief, fears, or like fears. Other fears are like fear of unknown, fear of uncertainty, fear of being seen. So I also have clients who they fear that if they go too loud about the coaching business, they will gather unwanted attention and they'll be attacked by other people, they'll be criticized by other people, and they don't know how to give that criticism. Of course, when you're being seen and heard by other people, you will naturally attract attention, and get it that not everybody is going to vibe with you. Okay, but guess what? You're not asking to vibe with everyone. You're only asking to vibe with those who understand you. That's it. Since I have been very loud and very bold in my energy in the things that I say, especially, I have people who come to me and say, hey, you can't say this, hey, you can't say that, you will offend somebody. And they will say that, oh, you know, the way you speak should be this, you should have more, your grammar is not perfect, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not here to please everyone. Right? So in order to create anything that we want in life, energy especially has to come from our heart. So that's why when you have emotions such as guilt, stress, fear, doubt, worry. Take for example, if I am a website designer and I want to create a website, but I keep thinking, people will not really want to come to this website because I will do a lousy job at that. Okay, and then guess what? The kind of design they do is very slipshod, and of course, self-fulfilling prophecy. Nobody will come to your website, isn't it? Okay, so the next thing that I would love to talk about is this thing called emotional scale. Emotions is always energy in motion, as what I said, internal energy and external, inner energy and external energy. Okay, everything is all by energy. That's why some people you'll be like, how come they can attract all the things that they want in their life? That is because their heart, their mind, their soul is very aligned. Okay, when it's very aligned, it actually signals to the universe that it's very clear. Hey, this person wants more money. Hey, this person has an abundant mindset. Hey, she is of positive vibe. She can attract the people who want to vibe with her. You know, you compare someone like that versus somebody who's always complaining, somebody who's always asking for saying things. It can't be done. It can't be done. Of course, it's, you know, is you decide, you see for yourself the law of attraction. So emotions are always energy in motion. Therefore, the higher the emotion, the lesser the resistance. Anything that is created, especially out of joy, love, passion, enthusiasm, it is always, that's when things move so much faster. That's when opportunities come. That's when miracles also drop in. That's when coincidences come in as well. You can imagine, like, when you are so passionate and you're doing your project, for example. I have so much of these, especially every day when I work. I'll be thinking about somebody, and and the person will message me, or they say, hey, I thought about you, you know, or like I suddenly when I was doing I do a lot of meditation. When I'm meditating, and then like I decided, hey, this person's name come into my mind, and I called her, and she said, hey, how do you know that I wanted to call you? I've been thinking about you for the past week. And I was like, wow, right? So this is really what happens when we are on positive emotion. The higher the emotions, number one, the lesser the resistance. The bigger the ideas and the possibilities for manifestation. The higher the emotions, the faster and quicker the results. Their total opposite is true for negative emotions. On the other hand, anything that you do out of frustration, impatience, worry, doubt, okay, and the lowest being powerless and guilt, the more effort you have to put in to get the same result as someone else of higher energy, but much lesser effort. You get me? So it is a total inverse relationship. Again, I say that when you are off the negative emotions, especially the deeper you sink into the basement, okay, the slower things will come in, you know, the reduced the reduced effect of it, and that's when you need to put in more effort. You have to work more hours, you have to put in more effort, you have to do so much more research because you are unclear, you're worried, you're irritated, you are angry, right? You're angry at your boss, you're angry at your hours, you put in more hours for that, you spend more time on it, and then when anything that you come out also, it doesn't look very inspiring as well, right? Equals to when you are of a much higher energy and you have to put in with much lesser effort. Okay, so this is why when we actually realize that for myself, I became so emotionally aware of my emotions that whenever my emotions drop, okay, I take myself out of the picture, I clean up my emotions and feelings before I go back to it again. Because I know that the more time I spend in a negative emotion, I'm wasting time. Okay, have you ever had this feeling when your friend is full of emotional energies, you know, they come in so frustrated with their boss, their staff or their project, and they share the emotional story, and you, although initially you come in feeling so vibing and excited, you now have the emotion hanging over your feeling, right? And you go back feeling so frustrated and angry together with them. So what it takes to create your best life, when you have cut out your external energy, this was what I experienced in the past 2 months. Okay, that's why I'm here to share with you. You cut out your external, you clean up your external energy, cut out distractions, overcome mental blocks, shift the perception of tasks, zero procrastination. Number one, you get extremely fast execution skills. Okay, I can do slides in 30 minutes. I can do posts in like 15 minutes. Okay, in the past, I would spend like 1 hour doing slides, or spend 45 minutes writing the same number of posts. Okay, guided by boosted internal energy. So what it means that you completely remove the limiting beliefs and you have supportive thoughts. Okay, and whenever you are stuck on like negative emotions, you can say, why am I so frustrated with him? I don't know, what does it mean? Okay, and all that. Okay, you have crystal clear clarity. You get very fast internal processing. So it's when internally you're very strong and externally you're very strong, that's when you get your chance to create your best life. So I do a lot of meditation. In fact, my very first month when I coach my clients is to take them out of their mental thoughts, their overdrive. Oh yeah. So I'm going to finish this up in 5 minutes, right? Meditation, journaling, breath work, and highly so that you become very highly self-aware. Whenever you're not in the right emotional state, you take yourself out of the picture, you fix it, and you go back to your work, you'll be so much more productive. Okay, at the end, it's about having that very clean external energy and that very strong internal energy. That's when life becomes so easy, effortless, and enjoyable. And this is one kind of lifestyle that is like, when you're on it, it's like you're surfing through life. So what it takes to create your best life, 3 C's, clarity, so that you can keep moving on the right track. Okay, I'm also a coach where I help my clients, where I give them the express lane to success because I have been there before, right? And it's about having that consistency. In the face of challenges and distractions, what do? Do you give up? Or do you say, hey, how can I solve this better? How can I be better? Because it's always with practice that you always get better in solving your problems. Everybody, once you know how to solve your problems, things get moved and you can get to move on really fast. Okay, this is the reason why I'm having a 1-month trial offer. I'm only having 3 slots. And I want to commence in first week of September. Basically, it is a combination of weekly online sessions with me, okay, which is worth a great deal because my current clients, especially my 6 months package client, pays a lot more than this, and as well as daily tech support for timely advice and micro shift. It's about having that support through that whole month. Hey, I want to work on this, and for everybody, of course, you will have a very different objective, but the first thing in the first month is to clean up your energy. Number one, you will have so much more energy for the things that you want to do and a lot more focused energy. Number two, you will stop feeling so frustrated or you're feeling very low and you can't get yourself out of it, which was me in the past. And right now I don't really deal with that now. Yeah, okay. And yes, having that tech support with me, not on WhatsApp, but it's a separate app, but it actually gives you that support to make that big transformation all in 1 month. And I have done this for so many clients and I have seen the results. Okay, a lot of them, they actually move on from being very, very tired, very frustrated mothers to being very, even they are creating their own businesses now, which is something that they have been wanting to do, but they were stuck at. So total value is this at a great price. I haven't announced this, but I'll announce this early next week. Yeah, about this offer, $650, 50 USD just for 1 month with me, and it's going at a 70% off. But however, the great promo, DM me best life ever, and you get another $200 off. So 450 USD. Oh my God, I can't be. This is actually the debut price that I offered when I was a first-timer coach. But yeah, I decided that so many more people can benefit, and so many more new people, new clients that I would love to reach out to. So it is only valid in the next 48 hours. All right. And absolutely live your best life. Always choose to have your best life. Never cut short. Never say that because I don't have this, so I can't do this. No, all right. I already clarified with you that there's a survival mindset. There's the creation mindset. You get to choose what you want to live in. And I had the most amazing inspiration as well. Relationship with my husband is great, but right, my son also as well. And I hope so many more people are able to have a life where you have a beautiful career, fulfilling as well, and a beautiful family to support you. All right. So that's all. Thank you very much. Let me stop the training.